Welcome back to what is pretty much live wall-to-wall coverage here by Bucks Report on Cut Day. We have there's so much news. What started off as a nice, relaxing Friday. You know, they say Fridays are slow news days, right? So today is going to be a slow news day. I'm having my cup of coffee. I'm kicking back on the couch, petting the cat, watching a little TV, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, look at what happens. Everything goes crazy. My phone's blowing up. People are calling. Text messages are coming in. The Bucks Report staff chat is going haywire. I'm like, what in the world? A nice relaxing day, and it's just that was out the window. So here we are. It's going to be a fun show here. Let's talk about all the cuts. I've got them scrolling down at the bottom. Now understand those cuts are as of the start of the show here. I'm not going to be able to keep those updated, but those are the cuts as of the start of the show. Right up at the top here, we have the cap space available as of the start of the show. We got a call coming in. Let's see who this is. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the show. What's your name? Yep. Okay. Never mind. They dropped out. So anybody can join me here. We've got the number down at the bottom, 678 talk to me, 678-825-5263. So hop on, give me a shout, or you can join us over in the comment section. I will keep an eye on those and refer to those from time to time, and we'll have a good talk here. Good little drive time talk. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the show. What's your name?
Hello. My name's Derek. What's up?
Hey, Derek. This is Rick Hughes. Yeah. I'm happy you gave me a call. Now let's talk here about the cut day. Tell me what do you think?
I was shocked about some of them.
Okay. What? Tell me what you're thinking.
I was shocked about some of those. That running back was on the wide receiver. The wide receivers was pretty shocking. Those corners was shocking. I'm also surprised about the kicking game. The kicker, Matt Bryant.
Matt Gay. That was a shocker. Listen, it was time. I mean, you can only miss so many kicks, my friend. There are only so many kicks.
We gave him 1 year. Only one year.
He lost 2 games for you in that 1 year. Do you want to let him lose 2 more games this year?
Oh no.
Well, that's how the decision gets made. That is how the decision gets made. You know, you have to make those calls.
Hey, look at this. What was your surprise about the Fournette signing? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I was shocked. Yes, I was shocked. I was completely wrong. I made a fool out of myself online. I told everybody stop talking about it, and look what happened. It ended up happening. So, yeah, I was completely wrong. What are you going to do? That's one of those things when you're happy to be wrong.
I was surprised about Rojo. Bruce Irvin said Rojo is our guy, but if he's your guy, well, why would you sign Fournette?
Well, he's your guy for now. One way or the other, that's a heck of a lot of depth that you have. You can have them both in the backfield at the same time. That's Bruce Arians just being a good head coach, saying the things he needs to say. Fournette doesn't know the whole playbook. It's going to take him a little bit of time to get to know the whole playbook.
It's just to run the ball. How does it take to run the? You know what I mean?
Well, you got to know where the plays are. Your responsibilities are not just to run the ball. You have to know what blitzes to pick up. You have to know there are a lot of things. You need to know what the play call is. You don't know the language when they call in the play. There are a lot of things that you have to learn.
Oh, but look at this. I was surprised that one cornerback made the team.
Which one?
Mentors or Millers, however you say them.
Right. Well, here's the thing: there are a lot of players who are very good on special teams, and that's how they end up making the team. And I think that may be the situation you're talking about.
I was surprised about the 2 tight ends got cut today, Hudson and Claire. I was shocked.
Oh, Claire got cut?
Yeah.
I had not heard that. I know that Hudson got cut. Okay, and I think they're going to try to bring him back to the practice squad if possible.
Let me pull up the thing. Let's see where's if I pull up the thing.
Okay, and hold on. How about this? Call me back in a little while. Give me about a half an hour. Let's give some other people a chance to hop in here, and you give me a call back.
Okay.
Give about a half an hour. Okay.
Okay, well,
All right.
bye-bye.
All right. We've got a line open. Anybody who wants to call 678-825-5263. 678 talk to me. And let's talk about everything that happened today. But like you see what the cap number is, that's as of the start of the show, according to overthecap.com. If there are more cuts that go down during this show, I'm not going to be able to update that while we're talking, but that gives you a little bit of an idea of what's going on. It's a day. Let me tell you, Fridays are supposed to be slow news days. I'm supposed to be able to kick back and kind of take a little time today. All right, let's see who we have calling here. Hi, how you doing? Who am I speaking with? Nope, they dropped out. It's going to be, look, when you have a day like today where you're not expecting some of the names, maybe they got cut. And other people that did make it, and I can talk to you about that in just a little bit here. Some people that I'm excited about, that I'm glad they got the chance. But that when somebody like Matt Gay gets cut, it's not fun. Oh, we got the professor. The professor Johnny Dean is joining us. Hey there, how you doing?
Yeah, I had to call. I had to stop sharing because of that last caller he's talking about. Eau Claire is not cut.
Right. That's that. I did not believe so. Thank you for calling in and confirming that. But yeah, and I also see, thank you. I think it's Gary Buff also in the comment section said Eau Claire was not cut.
Yeah, Tanner Hudson was cut, and
right.
Eau Claire is still here.
Right. Yeah, he's a great blocking back, and that's primarily what he's here for.
Absolutely, he's what a tight end is supposed to be.
Right.
Originally.
Right. You know? And Smoke just made a comment here. And this is it's funny that he put this. Smoke, I've got some news for you, my friend. Parnell Motley he did make the team. So
yes.
Yeah, so that is good news. You're saying he hoped he makes it. Well, he did. So we can be happy. But yeah, Matt Gay getting cut, it happens. What are you gonna do?
Well, yeah, you got one job.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, and great, you can make long kicks. That's awesome, but you got an awful lot of extra points to make throughout the year. You got, especially with a quarterback like Brady, you're going to have plenty of kicks that are not 50 yards. You're going to have shorter kicks, and if you can't make them, what are you going to do? I mean,
you're not supposed to walk in there and miss chip shots.
Right, that's consistently. It was funny because I was laughing. I was thinking in my head that Bruce Arians said we want consistency, and I was thinking, well, there were times you saw a lot of consistency out of Matt Gay. I mean, he'd go into games that he'd miss, 3 extra points and a couple of field goals. I mean, that's pretty consistent. How many can you miss in a game? So, I mean, it's a horrible thing to say, but the cost of having a kicker that can't kick those kicks is pretty huge. 2 games last year. Think about that. 2 games. That's easily the difference in a division or not a division this year, whether you win the division, don't win the division, whether you get a home playoff game or not. There are so many things about that. That's not a small deal. You've got to be able to make those short kicks.
Right. Absolutely. There's no question about it. There's no excuses. There's no. There's no way around it.
No, that's critical. Is that all you got for us right now?
That's it. I'm still working on the page.
Okay, well, hang in. Call back.
All right, bro.
All right. Again, any calls here? 678-825-5263. 678-825-5263. And let's talk about all the cuts, because there are a ton of cuts. You may be driving home and thinking, wait, what? Did I just hear Matt Gay got cut? Yeah, Matt Gay got cut. You can see the whole list at the bottom of the screen here of all the players that have been cut so far. It's pretty crazy. The one of the things that I want to point out, people that are like, we were talking about Motley, Bruce Arians very specifically discussed Motley, and I was afraid he wasn't going to make the team, possibly because he missed the scrimmage and was unable to really participate in special teams. But his performance on special teams was what was going to be the difference in whether he made the team or not. And Bruce Arians was pretty clear. He singled him out and said it all depends on what he shows in special teams. Apparently he showed, because he did make the team. So that's kind of that, that's a good thing. A lot of guys are out there, and this is make or break day for an entire career. Think about the pressure. Think about what it was like this morning when they woke up. There are guys out there right now who are thinking, what am I going to do for a living? What am I going to do? I hope somebody else picks me up. And there are other guys who are thinking maybe they're going to end up having to find another job. And instead they got the call and said, congratulations, welcome to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So this is an exciting day and a difficult day for a lot of players. I was talking earlier about the fact that I will never forget what it was like when watching on Hard Knocks, them cutting Roberto Aguayo, who seemed like a nice enough guy. And that's the thing, is a lot of nice guys got some bad news today. So, it's a rough day. I know coaches hate today. It's a difficult day because you're crushing a lot of the dreams of a lot of people who, a lot of blood, literally blood, sweat, and tears. So that's I guess that's, if you sign up for the game, that's what you're asking for, is you're going to find out one way or the other. And if you either make it or you don't. So there are, I believe, 7 more cuts still yet to happen. But as of right now, the players you see scrolling across the bottom of the screen, those are the players that have been cut. Now, most of them, a lot of them are going to end up on the practice squad if they clear waivers. Some will be, I'm guessing, snatched up by other teams. I'm guessing Dario Ngumbawale will not be available to be on the practice squad. If he is, that's awesome. But I'm not expecting that to happen. So we will see. But feel free, call in, give us your thoughts on a day like today, which has been crazy. I mean, cuts are actually not due until tomorrow, I believe, at 4 p.m. And it all kind of went crazy today. Everything went a little bit crazy today. A lot of space at the beginning of the day. I believe there was about 17,000 or something, 170,000, something like that in cap space. What I saw, at least at overthecap.com, the Bucks, I believe, have about 2 million left. If anybody has any other information, call up, become a part of this show. Let us know. We want that information. Speaking of which, Johnny Dean, that was quick.
Yeah, I just had to finish sharing out. Well, how's it going, man? How are you enjoying your day of on-air activity?
Yeah. Who knew? I had no plans of being on the air at all today. I was actually telling the professor, Johnny Dean, earlier today. I was sitting on the couch. This is actually just how it went down. I was sitting on the couch. I had my cat sitting next to me on the couch. I had the TV on, and I was half paying attention to the TV. I was just sort of fiddling around with my phone, relaxing, chilling out, had my cup of coffee in front of me, and this explosion of activity within like a 30-second period. And I ended up, I was just relaxing on the couch. 4 minutes later, I'm live on the air. I mean, it was that much of a crazy, what in the world just happened kind of a day. And we ended up, we're trying to give you as much coverage as we can today. And I'm hopping in when the big guns aren't available right now. I'm hopping in to talk to you guys. And if you have questions, let us know. And we got Johnny Dean, the professor, on here. Johnny, I've got a question for you. Well, first of all, someone just asked about Divinity. Did he make the team?
I would not know right at the moment.
Yeah,
I could look that up.
I had not heard of him getting cut. I
haven't heard of him being cut yet.
So. Right. So we will see. It seems as though he as of right now, from everything we've heard, he has made the team.
So, but that could change by 4:00 tomorrow afternoon. So
the way today has gone, it could change within the next 30 seconds. I mean, it's I don't know. Trying to keep up with all of this, it's funny. I
honestly believe that these first cuts are so that they have time to get these guys cleared on the waiver wires and signed to the practice squad. I think the first cuts here today are mostly people that they want to re-sign to practice squad. Yeah. They want to just get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's cuts will probably be bye-bye. See ya. Yeah. You're not going to be here.
No, I think that's an accurate observation, because I think they want these guys to be available. You can always pull them back up until 90 minutes prior to game time. You can pull a couple guys off of the practice squad. So yeah, I think that's exactly what's happening. So I want to know what you guys out there think about this. When they cut Dare Ngumbawale, they didn't just cut a running back; they cut a special teams captain. So that's something.
Yeah, they cut a captain. That shocked me. That's why our friend Nick Citro, he's like, "Why is it shocking? I don't like Dare, you know what I mean?" But it's shocking because you don't cut special team captains hardly ever. You know,
you might not like him as a running back, but you gotta like what he did on special teams. So I mean,
absolutely.
And keep this in mind: the Buccaneers special teams weren't all that special last year. So now what's happening? I mean, maybe that's what they're saying. Maybe they're saying, well, we can do better. Maybe that be part of the whole thing. I guarantee you, what was it? 48 hours ago, Dare was going to make the squad. Until Fournette came in, Dare was going to be a part of this team. And
right.
Yeah, now that Fournette is here, I guess Dare is sort of Fournette light. So, I mean,
well, before Fournette came here, Dare was second on the running back roster. Right. He was number 2 behind Ronald. So, yeah. He dropped a long way there. So I honestly believe that they're going to try to sign him and keep him on the practice squad.
Yeah, I don't know if there's much
protected squad. I think they're going to do that with. I'm pretty sure they're going to do that with Dakota Dixon also. Because I know Light and Jason Light and Bruce Arians both love Dixon a lot.
Yeah,
and his improvement this year has been amazing. So
yeah. Well, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out quick. I mean, and the really fun part of this is the Buccaneers are just about ready. They're starting practice now. I mean, real practice, real football practice. No more camp talk. I mean, we're at the end of the line here. We're at the bottom line. What does your Tampa Bay Buccaneer team look like for the year 2020? I mean, we're a couple of days from now, you're going to know that answer. And we're there.
I know one thing. The Buccaneers have the Saints sweating right now. They're going all in to get Clowney. They just offered Clowney another deal. So
the Saints?
We're going to find out. Yeah, the Saints did. So we're going to find out real soon how that works out.
Well, and what does that do to Kamara?
I have no idea. Somehow there's a disjoint. There's a distance there between Kamara and the Saints management somehow.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, maybe they're just thinking all in for this year. Maybe they're thinking, next year starts a rebuild and just go for it. So maybe that's the case. Maybe they're saying, get in here. You're under contract. Shut up and get in here. I don't know. I mean, it seems like it.
It does. It does. They've been at that point where all they needed was a push to get to the Super Bowl again.
Right.
And I think that's where they're at. Their hair pulling out, frustration right at the moment, and they're just trying to get everything they can and throw it out there.
Yeah. I can't see it any other way. There's when you have a team like New Orleans that, again, there's a lot of aging. Now, this is the difference. By the way, let me say this. The difference between what I believe the situation that the Buccaneers are in, if the Buccaneers have a quarterback for at least 2 years, he's saying longer than that. This is it for the Saints. This is it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's
the
Fournette
signing. The Fournette signing, it's a 1-year deal right now, but it's a prove-it deal. I'm pretty sure they're going to re-sign Fournette at the end of the season if he makes it, if he proves it.
Yeah, I don't think we have any idea about that. I think next year is what did you think this team was going to look like 3-4 months ago. I think we have no idea. I think at this exact point next year, we're going to be going, wow, I had no idea that this guy or that guy was going to be a Buccaneer.
Really? I mean, look, if after the end of the season, when we signed Brady, has the Bucs really changed much other than bringing in a couple of guys?
Other than bringing in a couple of guys? You're other than the draft?
A couple. After Brady, you got Gronk and you got Fournette. And
the draft
lineup still looks pretty much the same.
You've got a draft and no, you got LaShawn McCoy.
I said the starting lineup looks pretty much the same.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, you've got a draft that's changed the offensive line. Your offensive line looks different. I don't know, man. I mean, it was a very good draft this year.
The youth that this team has got.
Yeah.
The free agents, I love the free agents that were brought in because they were quality. We're going to win a Super Bowl. We're going to the championship kind of players.
Yeah.
But what I'm most impressed with is the youth on this team and the foundation that's been established here.
You know, my pet peeve of the people who are critical of Jason Light, and I don't understand it. Here's a guy that they got that attitude because Jason Light was put in here after Lovey was hired, which meant that he didn't hire Lovey. So he couldn't work with Lovey to get the team the way he wanted it. And then he got forced Dirk Cotter on him. So he still couldn't work the team the way he wanted it because he didn't have his coach. And he had started drafting for one defense. He started drafting for one defense, Lovey's defense. And then we switch over to Mike Smith's defense, which is a different style of defense. And
completely.
That's right. So now you have players that were drafted that fit one style. Now forced on you is Dirk and Mike Smith. Now these guys aren't gonna, that you've already drafted don't fit the current system that you're gonna go to, which has also been shoved in Jason Light's lap. So he's got to deal with that. Now he's drafting for that. And then what happens not long after that? He's gone, and finally they give Bruce Arians a chance to have his guy, and look at what happens.
You mean Jason Light has a chance to have his guy?
Or Jason Light, yeah, has a chance to have his guy. So, yeah, I mean it's amazing what happens when all the gears work together. And for a little while there, the gears, I mean, you had Jason Light doing everything he could to appease what was being shoved at him instead of working with him. And your general manager in a situation like this, he has to be somebody you're working with. You don't need to tell your general manager, you need to work with us. It's an inverted relationship. And I think that's...
Look, a general manager and a head coach traditionally go hand in hand.
Right.
It's the biggest buy a general manager makes is the head coach that he brings in.
Absolutely.
That's his biggest buy. People can look at the players all they want to, but a general manager gets fired for their head coach.
Well, listen, Tom Brady has had a massive impact on the culture of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There's no doubt about that. There's just a demand for excellence from him that I've talked about. It doesn't just pass through the players. It passes all the way up the organization. You can see it from the marketing department. You see it from the PR department. You see it. You just see it running down the line, this excellence. But understand this. Tom Brady he is not the ultimate reason that this culture changed here. Bruce Arians came in, thanks to Jason Light, but Bruce Arians came in. He is who set the tone. Bruce Arians is why you have Tom Brady.
Bruce Arians is why you have accountability.
That's right. So all of this together, the entire workings together, Light with Arians, with Brady, with the front office and organization, everything working together, that's what makes a championship organization. And that's where you're at. But let me tell you something. A year from now, you're going to have a lot of players that may not be here. I know you're saying Fournette's going to resign. I don't think we have any clue.
No, you did not hear me correct. I said there's a strong possibility if Fournette steps up and and does well this year, which he's 25 years old. If you have a guy that comes in at 25 years old, and if he plays the way he can play, have you seen his stats? If he plays the way he can play, and he keeps his nose clean in the locker room, they will re-sign him. It's a hell of a lot easier to re-sign somebody that you already got than it is to go out and hunt another one.
Sure, but we were already having conversations here about how are we, how do you juggle, how do you spin all these plates? What are you going to do? The conversation we had here where we had named 5 different players. It was Sue, Levante David, Chris Godwin, Shaq Barrett, and I forgot who the other one was. But it was which
right, there are probably, take away the offensive line and the defensive line. Well, even no, you can leave the defensive line in this statement. There are probably 5 players on the whole team that's a lock to be here next year. That's it.
Right.
And
that's why I said you're going to have a different looking team next year. New England does this every year. It's not something to be afraid of.
Well, I've studied New England's draft profiles. So I know exactly how New England drafts. Jason Light drafts are quite a bit like them too.
Well, and that's why we're sitting where we are. I mean, it's a matter of, I have the opportunity to get on this show and talk to everybody about a team that looks like it's built for a Super Bowl run. I mean, it doesn't mean that's going to happen. And let's be clear, guys, this team hasn't won a game this year. I mean, I think people forget that this team hasn't done anything. So
that's why the Super Bowl run, that's fine. I don't care. What I like about the team right now is it's built for the long haul too. It's not the $2,000 that were built for 1 year and 1 year alone, and then starts declining. And they sold the farm to get to that year.
I don't know that I totally agree with you on this. I think there's the underpinnings for a longer run, but you lose. There are a lot of players whose contracts are up at the end of this year. You were just talking about it. And when those players go away, this team looks different. And those are some pretty key components.
But wait a minute. We haven't sold our draft picks. We're not in debt with anybody here. That's what I'm talking about. Our Super Bowl run, we went in debt to get John Gruden.
Right.
He cost us for years. We didn't get him paid off until after 2015.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you about that.
And that killed us with those draft picks between him and Keyshawn, whatever his name was.
Johnson.
Yeah. Those draft picks that we gave up were way too much.
I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the solid foundation. The solid foundation of any team is their draft pick.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And this is what's funny is Jason Light gets a lot of grief about his drafting simply because they're not afraid to cut draft picks. And I mean, would you rather keep guys like Vernon Hargraves around to avoid the criticism of some of these fans getting online and saying, "Oh, look at how bad he is at drafting"? Or would you rather go ahead, rip the Band-Aid off, do what you got to do, cut Matt Gay? Now, I don't agree with drafting kickers. Never draft a kicker. Never draft a kicker. Never. Am I being clear enough? Draft a freaking kicker, okay?
You should listen to some of my old shows with Peter, man, because I preach that 100%, and he gets so mad at me.
It's insane. Stop doing it. Just stop it. I mean, it's not what you want to do as a team. You don't. It's just the wrong thing to do. So, think of that second round draft pick that was wasted on Aguayo, and what if you added that to this team right now? Few years under their belt. I mean, don't draft a kicker.
I got to respond to Jimmy Gaza there. He said that if Fournette has a good run, don't you think that he'll ask for too much money? Well, if he asks for too much money, then they will say bye-bye.
Right.
If he decides to come in here and play for a team that might make another championship run, which, like I said, I don't think this year's the Super Bowl. I think next year is. So if he wants to come in and play for a Super Bowl and put a ring on his finger and play with Brady again, then he'll take the lower pay scale.
Here, this is what I think about the Super Bowl, and this is why the Super Bowl or bust mentality makes me uncomfortable.
That drives me nuts.
Well, it's an oblong ball. It's not going to bounce fairly. You're going to get some unfair bounces going. It's going to happen. There's no way around it. You can't avoid it. It's the reality of it. Maybe you get the bounces that cause you to win a Super Bowl. The Super Bowl or bust mentality means if we don't win this year, it's all over. Everything comes apart at the seams. And that's not where we're standing. So I look at the Buccaneers and I say, it's Super Bowl or maybe some disappointment. But if 1 year from now, we're having conversations about, wow, isn't this year exciting? We're going to make a Super Bowl run. Then it wasn't bust.
Tell me any Bucs fan that's not going to be sitting in front of their TV if we make it to the NFC Championship screaming and yelling, yeah.
Right.
Come on, man.
It's just not bust. It's going to be a little bit of a disappointment, and mainly simply because the Super Bowl's in Tampa. But
that's it. That's the key factor here.
Right.
They want that record. I want that record. I'm not going to lie. I would love a Super Bowl this year. I do not expect one.
Get a picture. Right. I agree with you. What I would like to see from the Buccaneers is progress. What I would like to see from the Buccaneers, not a little progress, but there needs to be solid progress. And if at the end of this season, there's hope, a lot of hope, a lot of reason to be excited about the next season, man, I'm happy with that. Man, I'm happy with that.
You got to balance the progress and your expectations with the situation. We haven't had a full practice year. Nobody else has either. So that puts us on firm footing right there.
Right. Everybody's equal.
But still all these rookies and stuff and all these new people that we're so excited about, they haven't had a chance to gel. They're going to gel in the first 6 or 7 games instead of the practice field.
Right.
So,
but Johnny Dean, the Buccaneers are at a situation though, where they have not just they have a new quarterback, but he's not a young quarterback. He's got the experience. I mean, you're not dealing with youth in key positions.
You're not?
Well, no, I mean,
all right. I will pound the drum all day long about our secondary. Probably is top 5 secondary, in my opinion.
Right. When I say youth, I mean, we're not dealing with rookies. Right. We're not dealing with rookies is I guess what I mean. You've got a season behind your belt at most of the key positions here. I mean,
right.
We have Wirfs who's going to start, but really when it comes to every other rookie on this team, can you tell me another rookie that you have to have start that's critical other than Wirfs?
No,
I
can't.
No. And that's that. And when you're in a season like this season, where you don't have a full off season, having experience is a big, big, big deal. And you've got a quarterback who is as old as Methuselah. I mean, he's practically as old as me. And I actually mean that literally. You look at that and you say, holy cow. I mean, things are set up okay. I mean, if you're sitting there, think about the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals are facing an abbreviated offseason, an abbreviated training camp with a rookie quarterback and all the pressure in the world on that rookie quarterback.
And their best wide receiver gone.
Yeah. I mean, you can't have youth this year. You really cannot have rookies this year. This is not a year to be a rookie in this league. And maybe by the end of the year, it'll be okay. But starting out this year, veterans are worth a whole lot more than they have been in the past.
And that brings us back to why the Saints are favored right at the moment.
Yeah. Are they? I mean, I haven't seen anything recently.
Teams like the Saints, they're deep, man. That team is deep as hell.
Yeah.
The Saints, the Ravens, I would say San Francisco, but not quite. San Francisco's built about like we are right now.
Let me say something. Jimmy Garza or Gazda here has said something. He said, we do need a young gun to sit behind Brady to learn while we have the chance. Okay.
100% agree, Jimmy.
See, I don't.
I do.
Okay. I think traditional thinking is you need a young gun learning. I don't believe that that's the case anymore because there's a glut of quarterbacks.
I honestly do believe that's the case. I think that is exactly why there's so many quarterbacks coming out and going bust right off the bat because they get thrown into the fire and they fail. And it's the David Carr effect.
You don't have that many that are coming in and failing. You have young quarterbacks that are coming in and succeeding now more than ever. You have them coming in as rookies and playing.
No,
hold on, Johnny Dean. Hold on. Now let me finish what I'm saying here. Okay, you've got a lot of young guys coming in like Lamar Jackson, like Pat Mahomes. You've got these young guys coming in and succeed. Sure, you have some that fail. Of course, they're not all going to succeed. But the bottom line is this. There's a glut of quarterback talent right now in this league. And if 3 years from now Brady goes away, you're going to tell me there's not going to be another quarterback out there when you've got people like Winston signing for $1 million, 1.5 million. There's a lot more quarterbacks coming out. There's a glut of quarterback talent in this league right now. You're not going to have as hard a time finding a quarterback in 3 years. It's just not the case.
How many of these quarterbacks are you talking about that have lasted more than 5 years before having to go to a different team? Look, you're talking about two elite quarterbacks, and they're rare in Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. There's not a bunch of Lamar Jacksons and Patrick Mahomes out there. There's some average quarterbacks that they're holding their own that probably could have been better if they had somebody in front of them. It always works out better. Look at what happened to Aaron Rodgers. He became one of the greatest of all time as quarterback goes. And that
was a long time ago, my friend. The quarterback position is not the same.
Listen, look around right now. I'm telling you, there's a bunch of quarterbacks out there that people are high on, but they haven't proven themselves.
Well, of course, a lot of them just got drafted. So sure.
In other words, there's a lot of Jameis Winstons out there right now.
Sure. A lot. I don't know a lot. He's kind of a unique case, but I'll go with your point that there are plenty that don't succeed. I'm not going to argue that, but Winston is a bizarre example.
If they had a year or two behind somebody, they would be a lot better off.
I don't know that you can say that about Winston. I think he is what he is.
An example.
Yeah, he is what he is. So I don't know that the answer is you've got to have a young guy behind Brady because you can have another old guy coming in after.
You don't have to, but it would be really nice to have somebody have the system under their belt when they step on the field.
I guess you got Reed Sinnett right now. Is that the answer? I don't know. I mean, are you planning on drafting someone else? How many quarterbacks are you going to try and cram on this roster? I don't know. Do I think that's the case? I really would rather see linemen than another quarterback. I'd rather just draft. I mean, if we could, I would love to watch the Buccaneers spend the next 2 seasons and draft nothing but linemen. That's it. 2 full drafts, nothing but linemen.
I played line, so that's my spot, dude. Give me more linemen. I'll take them all day long.
Yeah,
I want a full team. You got to have a balanced team, and with Brady, look, we can always play let's rent a quarterback. Let's rent a gun. When Brady leaves,
that's what I think is coming. That's what I think is coming.
Rodgers to come out.
Well, that's what I think is coming in this league. Is I think you're going to see quarterbacks moving around, making less money. I don't believe quarterbacks are all going to be making $500 million. I think you're going to see quarterbacks actually start making less. See, here's the thing. They've made the position of quarterback easier. You can deny it all you want, but they've made the position of quarterback easier. You don't have to worry about getting hit like you used to. Things
Physically
are
easier, yes.
Well,
I agree.
And things are different now. The way the college game is different now than it was back when Rodgers came out. You cannot compare the quarterbacks coming out today to the quarterbacks who came out 10, 15 years ago. It's a whole different world for those quarterbacks.
It's not rocket science. It's physically easier for them. Mentally, they still have to pick up a playbook and learn verbiage. Verbiage is learning an entire new language every time you switch teams.
Oh, okay. But do you think I think an experienced quarterback comes in? The Buccaneers could there be a better example? Brad Johnson is the quarterback that came in and won the Super Bowl, and who was his head coach? You talk about different verbiage?
Yeah, John Gruden, he's the guy that started all this crap with the verbiage and stuff.
I mean,
and so yeah, since John Gruden, that's the way the league went with all that stuff. I mean, there was always verbiage, but it wasn't nothing as complex as Gruden had put out.
Right.
Before.
So, and of any quarterback, football is football. You're just changing the words. Listen, if you're going to pay me, if you're going to pay me, $25 million for a year, I'll learn another language quick. Get me that app. Okay. I mean, I'll find a way to learn as quickly as I possibly can. I mean, I went down, I had the opportunity. I went down to Colombia about 2 years ago. I had the opportunity to go down to Colombia to, oh my gosh, I can't even think of the city. But when I went down there, I had about a month in advance warning. And I poured over learning Spanish. And when I went down there, I could navigate through some things. I could make my way through this. Now, if somebody had told me, here's $25 million if you can learn the language, I'd be translating War and Peace for you pretty darn quick. Because from the time I opened my eyes to the time I went to sleep, that's all I would be learning. I think you've got a whole different world for quarterbacks right now than you used to have. And there's a glut of quarterback talent, and it's supply and demand. When you have a lot of quarterbacks, I mean, tell me a team right now that doesn't have that's looking for a quarterback. I mean, if I waited, we'd have a lot of dead air. Okay. There's not a team that's like, oh my God, we need to find a quarterback. Now, what do you do?
There's a lot of teams with new quarterbacks on their team that don't know what they got yet. So, yeah.
Sure, but they're not looking. Now. You've got them for a few years. You're going to try the guy out for a few years. You're going to give him a shot. It doesn't mean in a few years somebody's not.
That's the old story of quarterbacks. It's as old as the game of football. You're always looking for a quarterback.
Really? You think I don't think the Buccaneers are looking for a quarterback. I don't even think.
Not right this second, no.
Well, then you're not always looking for a quarterback if it's not right this second.
Oh, come on. If somebody came in as cheap as Reed Sinnett and could play better than Gabbert, they would grab him. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, if somebody comes in that's better at any position, you're not proving your point. You're just saying if you have a better player, are they going to replace the player that's not as good? Well, yes, I don't care. That just happened to kicker, didn't it? I mean, that doesn't prove your point.
Okay, what's the most important person on the team besides head coach?
Of course, it's the quarterback.
Okay,
but you're not always looking for one. I'm sorry. I don't think Kansas City is out like looking for a quarterback.
Okay, that isn't what my meaning was. It's all right. Quarterbacks go top in the draft because teams need quarterbacks. If there's not a quarterback taken in the top of this draft this year, then the next draft, then I will give you your dues. You were right.
No,
but if there is a quarterback taken number one in the draft, then you've got to admit that they're still looking for quarterbacks.
No, what it says is that team looks at this young quarterback. We're all talking Jacksonville. I mean, why are we talking in code?
Rick,
why are we speaking in code?
Nobody's looking for a quarterback.
They're putting themselves in a position to look for a quarterback. Yeah, they're trying to. They know one is coming available, so they're selling the farm to go ahead and let's start a rebuild. And we said it. I didn't deny the most important position on the team is quarterback. So what do? You cut everybody. You basically. You're tanking to get Trevor Lawrence. Okay. I'm not saying quarterbacks are not important. See, this is you and we're probably saying something similar and yet we're arguing. So, I mean, I probably, and let me do this, Johnny, call back in a little bit. Let me just check and see. Let's see if anybody else is trying to get in.
All right, bud.
All right. Okay, if you are trying to get in, that was a fun call. I love talking to the professor. If you are trying to call, it is 678-825-5263, 678-825-5263. Give us a call. There are so many things to talk about. You see all the cuts down at the bottom of the screen? Let's see who we have here. I believe, hold on. It didn't go through for some reason. what I want you guys to do is seriously, somebody, let's do this. Let's have a new caller, someone who has not called yet today. Let's get a new caller, and let's talk about the Bucs. I know you guys are driving home from work. It's been a long day. You got in your car and you thought it was going to be like any other day. You turned on the radio and you're like, wait, what happened? Who got cut? What? There's been that kind of a day. Give me a call. Let's talk about it. I mean, it's a crazy kind of a day. I don't even know what to think. There are players that I like a lot. All right, hold on here. Hey, this is Rick. Who am I speaking with?
Hello?
Hey, who am I speaking with?
This is Eric again.
Hey, Eric.
I have some thoughts.
Hurry up, and then because I want to get some new people in here.
Okay. Let's just say if the Bucs don't make the playoffs, what's your thoughts and what do you think is going to happen? And what do you think we go from there if the Bucs don't make the playoffs?
That's a problem to worry about then. I don't think that's a problem to worry about now.
Okay.
I think why solve a problem that you might not have to face? I think everybody's focused on one thing and one thing only, and that's making the playoffs and going further than that. I don't think they're focused on, what if we fail? So they're focused on success. Let's all do that.
You don't need to have our thoughts ready. What would you?
Really, it's just not the right time to be going there.
Okay, I got you, bro. I understand.
Yep. All right. Talk to you later. Okay. It's 678-825-5263, 678. Talk to me. So do not hesitate to give me a call and let's talk. I know did you guys expect Gay? Everybody seems to a lot of people are saying they're surprised. I don't understand why people are surprised that Matt Gay got cut. I said yesterday, I was on the air with Cup of Ray yesterday evening. And by the way, he's going to be on again tonight. We've got a great lineup here. I told you this is like wall-to-wall coverage of cut day for the Buccaneers. Joshua Cole Allen is coming on later this evening. He's got the Audible. Followed that up again with Cup of Ray is having a show, and I'm going to join him again this evening. It's going to be a long day. I started this morning. I'm going to be all the way on until, I don't know, who knows how late. But man, isn't this why we're fans? Is this not why we're fans? Is this not what we love about this game? Is a day like today when there's so much excitement, so much happening. If you're a Buccaneer fan, you're looking at this team. Now you're looking at okay, this is what the team's going to look like. This crazy year of 2020, this COVID year, where what hasn't happened. I mean, there's even NASA has revealed that there's a meteor hurtling towards Earth that's going to get here the day before the election. And now it's not like it's not some major threat to the planet or anything, but go figure that there's a giant meteor hurtling towards Earth in 2020. I mean but now we're looking at like if in December somebody said to you, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to have Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, LaShawn McCoy, Leonard Fournette, and all of these draft picks that we've all mentioned, you would have thought, are you kidding me? That's about the time Jameis Winston was saying, check your sheet, right? And now look at what this team is. It's almost unthinkable. It's almost hard. It's like my brain can't even process the changes that have happened to this organization. Everything went from an attitude of, oh my gosh, not this conversation again about interceptions and about whose fault were they. And year after year, you've got everybody entrenched on one side or the other. You either loved the quarterback or hated the quarterback. And it seems like, and now I've been a Buccaneers fan. Let me tell you this, guys. I've been a Buccaneers fan since April 24th, 1974. That's not a mistake. I know the team started playing in 76, But on April 24th, 1974, this little 8-year-old boy came running down the stairs at home, wanting to go out and play wiffle ball in the front yard. And I was grabbed by my mom and she said, sit down. I sat down at the kitchen table and my mother said to me, there's going to be a football team in Tampa and you're going to be a fan. And I was like, what are you talking about? What? And she said, you're going to be a fan of this team. And first thing is, I'm like, what's Tampa? I grew up in Orlando. And she said, it's a city. It's right down the road. We're going to be able to go to games. Now, at that time, I think the WFL had just been around. The Florida Blazers had been a team. I'm like, okay, there's another whatever. There's another league, whatever. Something's happening. And she said, no, this is part of the NFL. This is the real deal. I said, you mean they're going to play against like Fran Tarkenton? And I'm going to watch them play the Vikings? And she said, you can still be a Vikings fan. And the only reason I liked the Vikings was I liked the purple and Fran Tarkenton was fun to watch run around. Okay. But when she said, you're going to be a Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so it wasn't even, they didn't have a name. You're going to be a fan of this team. I was like, okay. Had no idea what all of this was going to entail. 2 years later, we piled into the old green Pontiac Catalina, and we were told, my sister and I were told, you can go put streamers on the car. And she had orange, my mom had orange and white streamers. We decorated up the car and we drove down Interstate 4, drove from I-4 from Orlando to Tampa. We stayed at a place called the Hawaiian Inn on Dale Mabry, right near the stadium, which at the time wasn't a dump. And we went over and watched a Tampa Bay Buccaneers football game. I got to watch the NFL. And when I walked out of there was no longer convincing me about being a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. I've been a fan for life. And I will be a fan for life. This is what I live for. Now understand, a day like today, this is what it's all about. Guys, don't you think about this team. Think about it. If you've been a fan, I don't know how many of you are new fans. I don't know. I'd like to hear from a new fan. That would be fun to do. But if you've been a fan for either a long time or you're a brand new fan, I would like for you to call. It's 678-825-5263. And the thing is this, if you like, for me as a longtime fan, even through the Super Bowl era for this team, this is amazing. This is, to me, the most fun off season. This is the most excited I've been about a year. I'm more interested in this year even than I was in the Super Bowl year. I mean, this is why as a fan, I bleed orange, not red, not pewter. I bleed orange, and it's a creamsicle orange. And a year like this just doesn't happen. So relish it. And everybody who finds reasons to complain, if you're out there finding reasons to be unhappy about this team, you must be a miserable freaking human being, because it doesn't get better than this. It doesn't get better than this. Somebody was complaining the other day about, oh yeah, but the defensive backfield's too young. What do you think it's going? What are your expectations if this team is not something you're happy and excited about? If you're unhappy with the general manager or the head coach or the whatever, if you're unhappy about this team, please call me and convince me why I should be unhappy with this team, because it makes no sense at all to me. The grouchiness and grumbling that I hear from some players, it makes no sense. I'm blown away by that. So listen, as a fan since 1974, if you're a new fan, let me tell you something. Love every minute of what's happening right now, because this doesn't happen. You'll probably go the rest of your life and never experience again what the magic of what this year has been, what this offseason has been. I mean, this is something special. You know, people who complain and say, oh, we're cutting players like Dare, or we're cutting players like Gay, or we're cutting players, that they're good players. The luxury of cutting good players is because you're so deep at that position that you can't keep all the good players. So you have to cut a good one. And that's not the experience that normally happens in Tampa. Normally, you're scrambling, trying to find decent enough players to not be embarrassing. But this year, now let's also think about all the embarrassments that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have experienced, from Alvin Harper cutting off his fingertips, 0-26, the Greg Schiano years, all of those, the diving at the end of the game, diving at the other team's knees, MRSA, Lovie Smith's defense, We Youngry with Raheem. There are so many levels of disappointment. Richard Williamson. He was a head coach, for those of you who don't know. He was actually a head coach of the Buccaneers. And when he got hired as head coach, I was like, who? There have been so many levels of embarrassment that this team has experienced. And right now, this team is experiencing a brand new embarrassment, an embarrassment of riches. It's insane how everything's breaking their way. So many things have gone well. I mean, it's hard to fathom what, everything that's happened. So you know what, Stunning? You call me up, 678-825-5263. Call me up. No, I'm not going to sit here and read every comment. Sorry, guys. I'm not going to go through reading all of them. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. But I do want you guys to call. I know that you guys have thoughts on this. You're not just sitting around. We got 30. What I don't know how many viewers are on there right now, but I know you guys aren't sitting there with no thoughts. I want to hear them. Because it's easy for me as a fan for a long time, right? Almost 50 years. It's easy for me to have a certain kind of feel a certain way. But a newer fan, a younger fan, I want to hear from you guys. Where are the female fans? What's up with that? Where are the female fans? Let's hear some of that. Look, don't jump on the bandwagon of every player that you see is released over the next day or two. Okay. Don't think Adrian Peterson's available. We got to go get him. Don't think we have to go get every name that you recognize or have heard of. This is a mistake that has been made previously, where when the Buccaneers signed Darrelle Revis, he was the wrong style of cornerback, but he was a name that sold tickets, so they brought him in. But he didn't fit the system, and they tried to make him fit the system. This is a team with great chemistry, amazing chemistry. This is a team where everybody is driven towards one purpose and one goal. This is a team who's spent an abbreviated offseason, everybody getting on the same page. Nobody, think about it, really, to speak of, no opt-outs. Everything is clicking on all cylinders. So come on, let's bring it. Let's see the Saints. Let's go. Let's see what this team can do against the Saints. I want to watch that game. I cannot wait. I love this time of year. The leaves are going to change soon. It's going to get a little cooler. The air is going to be crisp. We're going to be waking up on football Sunday and know there's a big game happening that day. I mean, does it get better than that? I just don't see it. It just doesn't get better than that. Hey, this is Rick. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Rick, it's Matt Colson.
Matt Colson, my brother. How you doing?
Man, I just got home, so I apologize if I'm behind.
No, I'm glad. Hey, hop on board. Can you believe everything that's happened today? Who knew this was coming?
Well, you and I talked about Matt Gay the other day.
Yeah.
And I told you what I thought was going to happen, and you agreed, and we were both right.
Yeah.
So that was kind of writing on the wall. But the running back situation where they cut that
Dare
guy with the
Dare Ngumbawale, yeah.
I feel bad for the kid, but I know he's going to end up either on a practice squad, maybe ours, or he'll get picked up by somebody else.
Yeah, I don't have any doubt about the fact that this is not a guy who's going to be collecting unemployment.
No. And that Hudson kid too, the tight end, he's going to find another place to land. Although I think somebody said that they were going to have him on practice squad.
Both of them. Both of them will be on the Bucs practice squad if if they want to be on the Buccaneers practice squad, and if they're available, they have jobs.
Yeah, and you remember last year that one guy got cut and he quit. He was going to go back to L.A.
Yeah,
dog's brother, cousin, or whatever it was.
Right.
They tried to give him a job, and he's like, "No, thanks." And now where is he? Nobody remembers. So be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
But what you were talking about the overload of good things happening.
Yeah,
it is an odd deal for Tampa Bay fans. Yeah, we don't get that. It just doesn't happen. We over the years, and I've been around since the first snap, nothing goes right for us the way it's supposed to go for other teams. And now all of a sudden, you said it the other night, we're New England South, so we got no tax, better team, nice payroll tax situation. You got real estate you can hide in. I mean, it's a great place to live in Florida. And Disney World, whenever they win a Super Bowl, is free, which to me would be great.
And a short trip.
But, yeah, I mean, Gruden sold players on Hooters. I don't know what Arians got going, but that was the sales pitch that Gruden had. I started out at Hooters, and I love the company, and they're here, and you can have great wings and
Lombardi trophies. I think what Arians is pitching is Lombardi trophies.
I think he's doing it, and he's got every right to. It's not pie in the sky. It really isn't anymore. You mentioned about people griping about the secondary is weak. It's not weak. It's young. And you know what's great about it is they were on an upswing up till the last game of the season. They're not going to get any worse. And if they do mature underneath the coaching we've got here, there's a chance that we could have a team all the way through the Brady years, the 1, 2, 3 year contract, if he stays alive, that is going to do nothing but escalate and go higher over the next few years. And that's got me excited. I'm starting to sound like Peter now. Everything's great. We're just great. Everybody's great. And I don't know. It's a different thing. We haven't had this opportunity much. And
right.
It's only 10 days away now, right?
Yeah. Is that not crazy?
That's what got me motivated.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. It really is hard to believe that it's time. Here we go.
And
I mean,
thinking that we could take New Orleans at home minus the crowd. I don't know. I think we got a good chance there because their advantage has always been the offensive team on the other side of the field can't talk,
right?
Communicate,
right?
And I don't care if they pump in noise. You're not going to get it as loud as that place gets,
right?
So
it's only going to be 70 decibels, which is a lot less than you see in places like Kansas City or Seattle. So I don't know. I mean, this is it's just the kind of year you don't see from any team. You don't see closest thing would be New England, but I mean, this is just, it's like I said, it's hard to process everything in 1 year. It's going from one entire feel to, it doesn't even seem like the same organization. It seems like last year was a decade ago. So I don't know.
And remember, in the off season, everybody was talking about what the hell are we going to do with Jameis? Oh my gosh, what are we going to do with that? And we had this he said, she said, kind of argument going back and forth about Jameis is great or he's not so great.
Right.
And then when he was cut, you had that brief little forest fire about why would they let him go? And guess what? They got Brady. And now everybody's like, what?
Right. Right. The whole and I will say this, it's nice to actually see pretty much all fans excited. I mean, there's always going to be somebody out there griping. There's always going to be somebody. There's nothing. I don't know that there's anything you can do with that. There's always going to be somebody. But to me, I don't remember the fan base being this united. It's even in the Super Bowl year, I don't remember that, because then people were griping about half the people wanted Gruden, the other half didn't. Even everybody's pretty much gotten on board with the whole Brady thing and with the direction of the team. And the only disagreement is, is he too old? Is he not too old? That's about it. But everybody still seems pretty happy about this. So I think this team in general, I think what you're seeing is this is a unique situation, and just enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride, have fun with it, and let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yep.
That's what I'm thinking. And you're right. There are people who are always going to gripe. That's just the nature of the beast. So
yeah,
there's no reason why this year, for the first time in God knows how long, if you say, I think we're going to get 13 wins, people aren't just going to blow their beer out all over the place and laugh at you. It's a very, very
15 wins.
13.
Oh, 13. I was like, I was about to blow some beer out.
No, I don't know that they're going to get 13. I'm still at 11 or 12 maybe. But then I got to thinking about last year. We got 9. What we were 9-7, or was it 7-9?
Last year was 7-9.
Yeah, well, we could have got 10 out of that if we had a kicker, I think, and we could have got 11 out of that if Jameis hadn't been Jameis.
Right.
So if you correct that, and I think that's exactly what they did today. They started the offseason correcting the Jameis situation, and they ended the offseason correcting the kicking situation, in theory. Those two things should happen.
In theory is always the thing, isn't it?
Right. Well, you have to be realistic. The guy's 40-something. I know I'm 56. If I go out and play softball today, I played for 12 years, and I was pretty good at it. Not great, but I played long enough to know what it's all about, and I haven't played in 20.
Right.
So if I go try it today, I ain't got no arm, I got no legs, and I'm going to be just balled up in pain tomorrow. So
right.
It's a real situation. The age is a mother, and it catches everybody.
Well, so, and it'll catch Brady. That's the thing. It's going to catch him at some point, but he says he wants to do 5 more years. Do you think he's going to be able to pull off 5 more years?
No. The only way that George Blanda was able to do that was kicking.
Right.
He went from a quarterback to a punter.
Yeah, a whole different kind of thing on nutrition and all that these days. I don't think 5, but if Brady could make it 3 years, fine. Winner, that's a good deal. That's a good deal.
He's 40, 43?
I don't remember. To be honest, I think he's 43 if I remember right.
Right.
He was saying he wanted to play until he was 45, I think, originally. And now he's wanting to stretch that out. So who knows?
Sooner or later, his wife and his kids are going to have to come into the equation.
Well, apparently she's encouraging him to play. So I heard this story, and I think this is a very interesting story, is Brady was talking about how Giselle actually played a part in the move to Tampa. And I thought this was interesting because I wondered whether she would be behind this or not behind this. And he was telling a story about how she was explaining she's very, very, very successful in business, and how she said to him, if I don't do the same thing all the time, there are times I have to push my limits. I have to step out of my comfort zone and push myself into new areas to become more successful. And you should leave the Patriots and put yourself to where you're uncomfortable. And that's the way you'll find more success. And I thought that was an interesting thing to hear Brady saying that Giselle was saying. So she was actually encouraging this entire process. So I don't know.
That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
So she looks like that, and she's smart. It's just, what this guy, I don't know what he did, but I mean, did he save Mother Teresa or something that I don't know about? I mean,
I don't know. I didn't even know he played at Michigan.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden now there's a couple of games like the Joe Montana Notre Dame win with the chicken soup. There's a couple of Brady comebacks that pop up every so often on television that you'll watch. And I had no idea where he was, or that he had ever played until he popped up in New England.
Yeah, I think everybody felt that way. I mean, he was drafted, 199 or something like that?
He was way down the board.
Yeah,
and I don't
something like that. I don't remember what the number was now. My mind's going blank, but oof.
I think he was close to the end of it. But I don't know. The guy's he's got the mental approach to it. He absolutely knows the game.
Yeah.
And I remember when he came in as a substitute against whatever it was. I remember the game. I don't remember who the players were, but they were talking about, they got this untested Tom Brady. And within a week or two, the guy was like smoking things. He's winning all over the place. And all of a sudden, that's when it started. And he never kind of looked back, which is crazy.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm looking forward to winning to the games. I can't believe it's just over a week away.
I know.
I'm looking at this more than my kids are looking at Christmas break.
I know. How hilarious is that? That is exactly how I feel. Like this feels like Christmas. I mean, it really, really does.
I'm gassed, and I'm like I said, I got my satellite all tuned up. I made sure that all that was working today, and no loose wire.
Yep.
So we're gonna be good to go.
All right. Well, hang out here. I'm gonna be here until 5:00. Then I'm gonna hop off. This evening we have Joshua Cole Allen is coming on for a little bit, and then I believe that's at 8:00. Joshua, you can call me up and yell at me if I'm wrong about that. And and then following that at 10:30, we're gonna have Cup of Ray is coming back on. So I mean, this is crazy wall-to-wall coverage of Cut Day, and it's been a very exciting day. It's been a lot of fun. I really thought when I woke up today, I thought, finally a day with nothing to do. That went through my brain today as I thought I'm actually going to take a day and chill out. And
it started early because I got a pop from Keith Larson this morning around 8:00.
Yeah,
I was like, what the hell is this?
I was kicking back on my couch. I literally had my feet up on my coffee table. It sounds like it's almost a stereotype. I'm sitting on my couch. My feet are up on the coffee table. The cat is sitting next to me. I'm drinking a cup of coffee, and my phone just blows up. And that was it. It was welcome to the slow news day. Fridays are slow news days, right? Apparently not.
Right. Well, and you know what's great is that they're giving these guys a chance to take the hit, and I think they're going to find them available for other teams. More readily than
I got to say this, Matt. Matt, you've got some competition, my friend. You're one of my favorite people here on this show. But there's Jessica Briltz is out here making comments, and it's good to see. Jessica, thank you I understand you can't call in because you're from Canada, but Jessica, thank you for the information you've been giving and the typo that I had at the bottom. I couldn't fit the cornerback part in there before Miller, and it ended up looking like Scotty Miller got cut. Obviously, that didn't happen. I think Scotty Miller, just to say this for the sake of clarity, Jessica, I think Scotty Miller is going to have a massive year, and I think he's going to be probably the biggest surprise on the offense this year. That and the fact that I think the most touchdowns that are going to be scored on this team are going to come from Cam Brate. Those are my two big surprises. But Jessica, thank you for your contribution and helping me there with the typo I had at the bottom in the cuts. Anyway, thanks, Matt.
I'm going to get off and I'll let somebody else call in. I'll stay tuned in and see what you got going on, Rick. I haven't caught you on a show live individually yet.
Well, that's because today's my first day ever doing this. So,
well, it's a good day.
Yes, it is. All right, man. You have a good one.
All right. You too, man.
Bye-bye. Okay, guys. Back here, 678-825-5263, 678-825-5263. Give me a call. We got lots of information, lots of cuts. I mean, did you see this coming today? Who surprised you? I mean, did you think Dare was getting cut? I know some people did. I did not. I did not think there was any chance at all he was going to get cut, not as a special teams captain. So it was a surprise. Oh, hold on here. Joshua Cole Allen, the man I've been speaking of, has stopped in. Thank you, Joshua, for calling. How you doing?
Doing great, man. Just obviously catching the show. You're doing a great job. I know it can get kind of, overwhelming by yourself for the first time. I was in that position not too long ago, so I figured I'd just give you a call, tell you you're doing a great job. Content's great. Can't wait to see the cheap seats premiering when?
September 13th, the first game right after Peter's post-game show.
Absolutely. Just wanted to give that little shout out to you. And, just tonight, 7:30, actually, we're starting early because I have a special treat for all you fantasy guys out there.
Oh, cool.
I'll have Jamie Eisner back on. He was on the Audible last Wednesday. We're going to do a full half-hour fantasy breakdown. This weekend, Labor Day weekend, is one of the biggest fantasy weekends.
It is the weekend. This is when it all goes down.
Exactly. This is the weekend where most drafts are being done.
Yep.
So make sure you guys tune in for that. So you get all your fantasy tips, comment, because they'll be answering some comments in the comment section. So make sure you go into there. And then right after that, it's your special Fantasy Friday edition of the Audible. We'll get right back to the normal format. We'll have Kyle Berger on from ABC Action Sports. We'll have a couple guys on from Bucks Report. We're kind of throwing the game plan out the window, calling an audible. And we're just going to have some fun tonight. I mean, it's been a very busy day. I was like you. I was sleeping. My first time sleeping in till like 9 o'clock. I wake up to a flurry of messages.
You know what? And hold on, Joshua. I want to say something about Joshua Cole Allen here that we have on the phone here. He is the guy from the Bucks Report. When you see the press conferences that happen and they have the players that are being interviewed and they go out of, they go to different people and ask questions. Joshua Cole Allen is the guy sort of from the Bucks Report who does that. And I want to say something. It's funny that you're sitting here saying you were caught as off guard as I was, because for those of you who don't know this, it's one thing if you're from maybe, ESPN or maybe some of the bigger outlets to be breaking news, to be the one breaking a story about who's getting cut. I want to tell you, two different people. Joshua Cole Allen was the one breaking the news about the cuts. And that's a huge thing. And I'm proud to work with you, Joshua. I really, really am. And what you did today, it was impressive. It really was impressive. And thanks for calling in, because, I mean, like I said, it's an honor to have the chance to work with you and to just watch what you did today. Completely unexpected, and you're that on your game. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Anything for Bucks Support, anything for the fans, for the content, that's what it's all about, is making sure these fans get top-notch content and, they get the stories, right away. Sometimes it's going to happen before the big guys get it, and, we pride ourselves on being able to do that. And,
that's amazing.
When we can do that, we're excited to bring that to you guys.
Yeah.
Today was just a day that it happened, so we're excited for that. Big things going forward. We got our pregame show test tomorrow for the big week coming up, so make sure you tune into that.
Yeah, actually, Joshua, tell everybody about that.
Yeah, so we're gonna be out at the deck in Isla, down in St. Pete. We'll be out there tomorrow. Not sure the start time. We're gonna go out there, set up. This place is great food. It's a great location, right on the water. Right at 5-minute drive. You're on the beach. Big open setting.
Now you have a whole deck. Apparently, that the entire deck is basically just for Bucks Report, correct?
Pretty much. It's getting all remodeled. There will be, I think, 6 TVs out there inside. The game's projected on the big screen. There's lots going on. Drink specials, food specials. I got the wings 2 weeks ago. I got the burger this week. That's how I judge. For me, that's how I judge a restaurant. Your wings and your burger. Both of them were phenomenal. So, yeah, we got that going on. Make sure you guys, if you're in the area and you want to pop in on us tomorrow, it's the Deck. I'm sure you've seen it all over my show, Peter's show, everyone's show, Al's show. So
yeah, not if you're in the area. No, not if you're in the area. Get your butt in the area. Get your butt in the area and then go hang out. I mean, it's going to be fun. From my understanding, they're going to be doing live interviews of fans. There's going to be a lot of interaction. There's a lot going on. I know that pretty much the entire staff is going to be involved in either coming online, being with you guys online or in person. And it's going to be,
Absolutely.
it's going to be a blast. I mean, I'm excited about it. And I'm how many miles away? You know, I mean, I'm 7 hours driving away. So I'm going to have to be there online, but I'm excited about this. And I can't wait to I don't care about even being a part of the show. I want to watch this because there's all of you guys together. This is going to be amazing.
Absolutely. And there'll be giveaways every week, all sorts of different Buccaneers themed prize packs. So it's going to be the spot to be. Obviously, the first 2 weeks, we know there will be no fans, or the first 2 home games. So the whole month of September, there'll be no fans in the stands. So definitely come down there and check it out because, you know, you'll get to hang out with us, mingle, get some good food, drink specials, food specials, right on the beach, watch the sunset go down, and just have a good time. Chance to win some prizes. So it's definitely going to be the spot to be to. So
I'm jealous.
If you're in the Tampa area anywhere, make sure you make that your destination for Bucs games this year.
I'm jealous, but I got to tell you though, being up here, yeah, I'm jealous that I'm not going to be on the beach and hanging out with you guys and having a good time, but I am a crunchy leaf guy more than a beach guy. So for me, the leaves are going to be changing. It's football time. The air is going to be crisp. To me, I mean, you're a New England guy. You know what I'm talking about.
I mean, I see all my friends back home. They've got their hoodies on and fires going, you know, out by the sunflower patches, taking pictures of the fam. I'm like, kind of miss that. But you know what I don't miss? Winter.
Yeah.
No. You know, we've got about a month and a half left down here in Florida, if that, and then it becomes beautiful weather.
Yeah.
Cool weather, beach weather, anything. Then we get the winter time. We'll get a nice, 30-degree day here and there, but for the most part, it's all 70s and 80s and beautiful. So yeah. I'm going to stick with that. Although I do miss the leaves in fall, but
yeah, that's my favorite time of year when probably because it's football time also. So this is exactly. Here we go, guys. Here we go. I mean, this is going to be fun. So you start at 7:30 tonight, right?
7:30. The whole first half hour will be Fantasy Friday football edition of the Audible. We'll break down, what's going on. Leonard Fournette's here. How does that play into the running back situation? If you have your draft this week, what running back do you take? Do you not take any of them? The picking position. Last week when we had Eisner on, he said he had Matt Gay as a 5th round draft, as a 5th best kicker. Well, does that change now that they brought Ryan Suckup in? Does it make it better? Does it make it worse? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the defense.
Yeah.
We'll talk about, obviously, some of these offensive players. And then we'll get down to stats and rankings and where other players line up because everyone's got their draft. Not everyone, but most people have their draft this week, and I have 2 alone. So
I'll be watching.
I know it's going to be interesting takes on there with players getting cut. Mohamed Sanu got cut. He was supposed to be the number 2 wide receiver. Where do you look now past Julian Edelman? So things like that. Make sure you guys tune in because he'll be taking all your comments and questions and answering those as well. So
you got it. Thanks, Joshua. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, Rick. I'll talk to you soon. Doing a great job, my man.
All right. Thanks. Have a great one.
You too.
All right. That was Joshua Cole Allen. And I'm telling you, the way this he's been on his game today, he's the man right now. He is the man. But not the man. We have Jessica. Okay, it says you put something interesting here that I thought. It said we need to see how our secondary plays out this year. They came on strong to the end of the year last year. Hopefully we can start strong this year, but you would not be surprised if they had a slow start. I feel the same way about that, and I want to see what happens when it comes to that. We got a call. Hold on. Hey, this is Rick. Who am I speaking with?
This is Todd Robinson.
Hey, Todd, how are you?
I'm great, man. How you doing? I'm watching your show on YouTube, and I just want to let you know that I am a diehard, huge Buccaneer fan.
Awesome.
I've been a season ticket holder now for 9 years. And I know, I feel like I know quite a bit about the Bucs.
Okay. Well, then tell me how you feel about these picks, about these cuts.
Well, I think honestly, I think some of these cuts are very legitimate because of the players that we have. And
right.
There is some talented players that got cut, but I want to tell you, the group we have together, it's the most exciting time for Bucs football since the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And Tom Brady has just elevated everybody.
Yeah.
And then when you get Gronk, and then when you get Shady McCoy, and then we just signed Leonard Fournette.
Yeah.
And you add those guys with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and O.J. Howard and Cameron Brate and Levante David, and I can go on, and Vita Vea and Sue and Pierre Paul.
Yeah.
I mean,
what did you say your first name was again?
It's an unbelievable team.
What did you say your first name is again?
Todd. T-O-D-D.
Okay, and where do you live?
I'm from Winter Park, Florida.
Okay, I grew up in Orlando.
Oh, did you really?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Well, I didn't go to a lot of the early games at the old Sambaro there. I went to a few games there, but I've been a Bucs fan since '76, since they came into the league.
Same with me.
But I've been this is my 9th year as a season ticket holder, and I'm so excited that I live, breathe, and die Bucs football every day.
I feel your pain.
I know.
Well,
some of those early years were trying. I can tell you.
Oof.
Yeah, well, they were very trying.
It is perfect that you contacted me. Okay, that you called, because I've got a question I want to ask you and see how it lines up with my experience being a fan since the first year. Have you ever gone into a season feeling like you do about this season?
Well, every year I'm very optimistic, but this year it's just a different feeling,
isn't it?
And not only with the team we have, but we have a great coaching staff. BA is an incredible coach. And he's got a large coaching staff, and you got Todd Bowles.
Yeah.
And you got Byron Leftwich, who has a great relationship with Brady. I mean,
you hit something perfectly. You hit something perfectly, Todd, when you said that when it comes to the coaching staff and how this feels differently, and then you brought up the coaching staff. Even during the Super Bowl year, in my opinion, the Super Bowl year, there was a little bit of, you have to kind of excuse, I don't know, let's say Warren Sapp. Okay.
Right.
And you have to kind of excuse Pittman came in that year and he had a history of some issues. You kind of have to overlook that. Okay. There were things like that you had to deal with. This year, it's like this magical year where I guess you could say Fournette, maybe people have said some things about Fournette, but really, can you think of anything really bad about Fournette? It's just no. So, I mean, this team it's like this karma debt being paid off is the best way I know how to describe it. It's like all of that pain and horror. Everything is going right.
I agree with you, and I'll tell you something else. It's been a painful 9 years for me as a season ticket holder, because we have not made the playoffs in all those years.
Yeah.
The last time we made the playoffs was 2007,
with Raheem.
And I was actually at that game when we played the Giants.
Right.
And I was with three buddies of mine, and when we left the stadium and got in the car, I said, "There's your Super Bowl champions," and they laughed at me. Well, they went on to win the Super Bowl that year. The Giants were good. They were legitimate.
Right.
But that's the last time we played a playoff game at Raymond James Stadium was 2007. And like I say, I just feel that this year it feels different. I think all the Tampa fans are, excited.
Yeah.
And, I don't live in Tampa, but when I go over there and I talk to the fans over there in Tampa, you can feel the excitement.
Yeah. I mean, I live in Atlanta. I feel the excitement.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Well, yeah. Well, you got the Falcons there, and that's one of our division rivals.
Well, yeah, I'm not a fan.
And hopefully we can go in there and beat Atlanta this year. Yeah. And of course, I'm all hyped up for the Saints game a week from Sunday, and it's going to be a challenge. I think we have a little bit of advantage with not having fans there. I know they're going to make the noise and put some fans in there as far as the noise.
They're going to pipe in the noise, right?
But there will be no fans there, and I think that's an advantage for us.
You're right, and you know what, Todd, get out of my head, man. You're saying everything I've been trying to explain, and it's like you're channeling everything that was in my head.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. I think it's a big deal. I laugh. I picture the Saints running out onto the field and this faint echo bouncing around in that aluminum echo chamber of, because there's nobody to cheer. There's nobody there. And I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's going to be 70 decibels of noise being piped in, but that's like practice. I mean, that's not
the same as when you have a full capacity fans at the Superdome.
Right. That's better. That's more for TV.
One of the toughest places in the NFL to play.
Yeah. So everything has lined up perfectly. Plus, they have the problems with, is Kamara going to play? Is he not going to play? Is he going to be on the team? Not on the team? What's happening with that? You have all of that happening. I guess maybe they'll bring in
controversy. Now, I have heard, and I'm sure you have seen too, that they are after Clowney.
Well, but hold on this. It takes 4 days to process a new player that comes in right now because of COVID-19. So
yes, sir.
Instead of like normal, you come to an agreement with a team that you're going to play. They give you a playbook immediately. You start working on that. You're chewing on that overnight. And then the next day you're on the practice field. It doesn't work like that right now. There's a 4-day minimal time lag that is going to take to process. So let's say he signs tomorrow. Okay. Let's say Clowney signed with the Saints tomorrow on Saturday. He's not even going to hit the practice field or be given a playbook or anything for the first time for 4 days.
Right.
He's a non-factor against the Buccaneers.
Well, I think you're right, and I get exactly what you're saying. Now I don't know if I'm right on this or not. You can correct me. I think Fournette is signing his contract Sunday. Am I right on that, or am I wrong?
I don't know the day he's actually putting pen to paper, but he's already there with the team. He's already. I mean, now. I don't know how this works, and this is actually an interesting question. And let me challenge, if Joshua Cole Allen is still listening and can hear this, to do some research and put this on your show tonight, because it takes 4 days to process a new player into your team. What happens if they're going directly from one team to another? Because they're already following the COVID protocol, and then they switch to another team. Is there a 4-day lag? Now, I know if they come from outside, there's a 4-day lag. But
now I don't know the ins and outs on all that.
So Joshua Cole Allen, when your show starts.
I'm not up on that, but I know with the COVID, it's everything is different.
Right. So I mean that's something I'm kind of interested in seeing.
But I'm just wondering how much Fournette will play against the Saints, and how much you can run him maybe 10, 15, 20 plays. And
Aaron, I don't know if Arians came out and said he's our number 2 back. He is the Buccaneers' number 2 back. But that Rojo is still the number 1 back, and that they're going to let Fournette get as much work as he can. Whatever he can do, they're going to let him, bring on a little bit, play a little bit here and there. But Rojo is the guy they're leaning on in New Orleans.
Right. Well, I want to tell you, I was a little skeptical of our running game. I like Ronald Jones. I know he's young and he's still learning. I think he's going to be good. But when you add a veteran like Shady McCoy, and then you add a beast like Leonard Fournette who can run over people, those three running backs, I like our running backs.
Yeah.
And Leonard Fournette caught 76 passes for 522 yards last year in Jacksonville.
What scares you the most? What scares you the most on this team? Our
safeties and our corners.
Okay.
They're young.
Mm-hmm.
I know they're still learning.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have a lot of potential.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're going up against guys like Michael Thomas and Julio Jones in our division,
it's all everything you're saying. I think
makes
is
for
fair.
a tough day.
Yeah.
And I know Carlton. I think he's going to be good. I think Mike Edwards is going to be good. I think Antonio Winfield, the rookie, is going to step in and do a great job. But they're young guys. Jamal Dean, they're all young.
Right. I think all of that, everything you just said,
scares me on this team. Our front seven, I think, is the best in the NFL.
Kicking scares me the most.
What scares you the most, sir?
Kicking. I'm still scared of kicking.
Kicking does too, because we've had kicking roles for I don't know how long.
Yeah, I think I think I'm scarred.
Well, Jason Light loves to draft kickers, and so he's 0 for 2 on kickers.
No,
he drafted Matt Gay, and he drafted the kid from Florida State.
No more.
I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
Roberto Aguayo. No more.
Yeah.
No more kickers. Do not draft more kickers. No.
We don't need any more kickers. It's been the devil to us for our team.
Yeah.
But I like this kid that they got from Carolina. I think he can be good. He can be consistent.
Yeah.
And we need those extra points, and we need those 30, 40-yard field goals.
Exactly. Especially with Brady at quarterback, you're going to need that, because if you're not getting in the end zone, you're likely to get down there. So, to get close to take a shot at it. And if you can consistently hit the big ones, then, I mean, the short ones, if you can consistently hit those, you're in a good position. So, yeah.
You know what? We're not going to have the turnovers this year like we had with Jameis. And I like Jameis. Jameis is a good kid.
Yeah.
I wish him the best, except against us, of course. But I think Jameis, he's a talented kid, but he wasn't the right guy for us. You can't win games when you're throwing 30 interceptions.
You're absolutely correct.
There's no team in the world that can win throwing 30 interceptions.
Yeah.
And Brady's going to cut that down to hopefully 10 or less.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And it's going to, and not only that, it's going to help our defense, because the defense isn't going to be on the field all the time.
Yeah.
So I think it's a win-win-win, and I'm very excited. And I want to tell you, it's a pleasure to talk to you. I'm going to let somebody else get on here and talk to you, Rick.
Pleasure to talk to you, Todd. Please don't be a stranger. I got a show starting on September the 13th. The night of September the 13th. I hope I hear from you.
You definitely will. After we beat the Saints.
You got it. Thank you very much, Todd. You have a great one.
You too, Rick. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Want to tell you guys real quick about the cheap seat starting September the 13th. I'm excited about the show. The concept behind the show, it all started for 30 years. I was a professional photographer, and I've been on the field during games, in locker rooms. I've been in the press box. I've been in luxury suites. I've been on the front row at games, and the times that I've had the most fun at a Buccaneers game has always been in the cheap seats, talking football with the guys in the cheap seats. And Jessica, no fun, no offense when I said the guys. You are absolutely included. But the point is, we have as fans, we have a love for the game. And I love the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I love watching Buccaneers games. And when I was on the field working for Pro Football Weekly, I'm running back and forth from one end of the field to the other end of the field, carrying all this equipment, sweating. It was crazy. It was hot. It was miserable. And there was a game that I was standing on the sidelines. I can remember it like yesterday. I looked down at my camera strap. I wrung out my camera strap. Sweat just literally pouring out. And I was miserable. And I looked down and I said, I don't want to be here. I want to be in the cheap seats. And that's what the concept of this show is. The cheap seats starting September 13th after Peter's post-game show is talking football like you do in the cheap seats. It's just talking, kind of like we've been doing today. It's let's interact. Let's talk about the game from the day. It can be the Tampa game. It can be any game. Let's talk football. And there's a game going on during that time. I have a monitor that I can see. We can refer to that game or any of the games throughout the day. I mean, that's what it's going to be all about. So, I'm keeping an eye on an interesting discussion here in the chat room about what will the Buccaneers do against the Falcons and the Saints this year. Will they split? What's going to happen? And I believe right here we have Johnny Dean says that we're going to split with both of them. That's weak, Johnny. That's weak. Come on. That's so non-committal. Yeah, we're not really going to win. We're not really going to lose. We're just going to kind of split. Come on. So I mean, I'm a firm believer in the fact that I believe this team. Yeah, I think one of the games to the Saints, yeah, that will probably split with the Saints, but I think we're going to sweep the Falcons. I don't think that the Panthers even come into play. I don't think it's even almost. The only thing is it's a division game, and those are always tough. Catching them on the right year. Everything is catching things just right for the Buccaneers. But I think you're catching the Panthers on the right year. They no longer have Kuechly. They no longer have Cam. They have a new head coach. Everything's different. It's not like this team's familiar with the Buccaneers. You got a lot of new things happening there, and they're getting to know the Buccaneers, but the Buccaneers are getting to know them as well. So I don't know. I believe, living here in Atlanta, from the information I have, the Falcons have had a great camp. The Falcons are the kind of team that either goes 12-4 or 4-12, and they look good this year in camp. Now, you never know what to expect. They can look good for part of the year. Last year, they looked terrible the first part of the year and good the second half of the year. We've all seen them look good in the first half of a game and bad in the second half of the game, 28-3. But, I mean, it's we don't know what to expect out of the Falcons, but I believe they're going to be more difficult this year than they were last year. So I think everybody needs to be prepared for that. Jimmy Gazda said, Carolina needs a quarterback. Jimmy, I don't think we know that yet. I think the jury's out. I don't think we can have an opinion on Teddy Bridgewater with Carolina. That could go either way. Teddy Bridgewater's done a lot in his life, in his career. Yeah, he had a rough period there. He literally almost lost a leg. But the guy, you don't have to be Patrick Mahomes. You don't have to be Lamar Jackson. There are different kinds of quarterbacks that find success. Like Brady is a different kind of quarterback. So you can't look at Teddy Bridgewater and say, oh, he's okay. It all depends on the team. I mean, Ryan Tannehill. Look what Ryan Tannehill did. You think he's a world beater? No, of course not. Brad Johnson wasn't either, and look what happened. So I think the quarterback situation in Carolina right now, I'm not passing any judgment at all. I hope the best for Teddy Bridgewater, except against Tampa. But, I think the jury is still out right now when it comes to Teddy Bridgewater and the Carolina Panthers. So that's how I'm seeing that. Now, do we have any more calls coming in? If you're going to call, you got to do it now, 678-8255-263. So here is the deal. The Buccaneers have had a massive cut day. It's been huge. It's been exciting. You see the names at the bottom. Scrolling across the bottom, it's news that wasn't, I did not expect today. Let me rephrase it. I didn't expect the news today. I expected the news tomorrow because the cuts are really done by tomorrow at 4. But all of that went down today. I hope we get the kind of news, like I hope to hear Dari Agumbawale cleared waivers and the Buccaneers are putting him on the practice squad. I hope Tanner Hudson's on the practice squad. I hope a lot of these guys are on the practice squad. They know the system, and that's very, very, very valuable this year. So we will see what's going to happen very, very soon. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Please come back on the 13th. But first of all, several things to cover very quickly. Tonight at 7:30, Joshua Cole Allen has a fantasy show that's going to be coming on. And then that immediately followed up at 8 o'clock with The Audible. The Audible is a really fun show, and Joshua has had an incredible day breaking stories, breaking news about who got cut, being the first to know, first to get that news to you. That's why you need to stay tuned here. We've had like wall-to-wall coverage almost here of all this information. Second of all, right after Joshua Cole Allen comes the Cup of Ray. We've got Ray is going to be on tonight at 10:30, bringing you information tonight, just sort of a bookend to the day, closing up shop, having a little discussion about the events of the day and a recap, and that we've had time to process it and go through it all. I'll hop on, be on there with him for a little while tonight, and that's going to be a great time. We had a wonderful time last night. I was able to be on the show with him last night, and after that, we have tomorrow at the Deck at Isla. And Isla is going to be a fantastic, fun show. So please don't miss it. It's going to be, there's a lot of exciting things going on right now at Bucks Report. And you really want to hang around. You really want to wait for those notifications that pop up on your phone and tell you, hey, we're going live, because there's so much good information coming to you. Today was insane. The information that was just pouring out of this organization. And we had the opportunity. Thank you, Joshua Cole Allen, for breaking some stories and breaking some news, and all of the cuts, and bringing you all of the news and all of the information right off the bat. And it was a lot of fun. It was a crazy, crazy day. And then we're not done yet. We're not done yet. So you guys have a wonderful evening. Be back at 7:30 with Joshua Cole Allen. Be back tonight with Cup of Ray. And tomorrow, get ready for a party. Go to the Deck at Isla and have fun tomorrow. Have some burgers. Have some wings. You know, I can't be there. I'll be calling in. I'll be in online, but I'm going to be jealous. Have a burger for me, would you? Thanks a lot. Have a great one. Hold the mustard. Hold